Afternoon, everybody. Here we are again, Friday, 14th of August. Did you really think that when we first started all these tiles and these Facebook Lives that we'd be here on the 14th of August doing tile number 58? I can remember thinking, you know what, I'm going to do 12 and see how it goes. And now I'm on tile 58. It's pretty remarkable, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that's, stayed with me from the beginning, and to, of course, everybody that joins each time. Please, you're most welcome, and feel free to join in and just to say hello. It's a really wonderful community, and I know that a lot of you have said that it's helped you through these times, and honestly, it's really helped me too. So we are definitely all in this together. It's not just a one-sided thing. So thank you. Thank you to everybody. And that we're keeping on going with this. So it's really good. Really loving it. And really, in a good place right now. And it's thanks to everybody out there that supports me. So hi there. So have we got the date in there? Have we got the name? Have we got the tile number in there? And are we ready with our tools and equipment? I'm keeping it sort of fairly basic today. As you can see, I'm with thank you, Lizzie. I'm keeping it with a basic tile today, so I'm not going with different colours. I think after the livid bright green one, I really love it, and it just looks lovely on a black page in my journal. Those of you who have not seen it, here it is. Really, really pleased with it. Here we go. There it is. Look, that's the one we did, and I actually have added a few bits and pieces. So, I had fun with that one. So I thought I'll stick to this one today. So what do I have? Regular micron pen. Pencil, of course, basics. Got my tortillon. I've got a gold and a silver pen. Just a gel pen there, basics. And I've got my pastels with me, so I might get to them. I'll see how far I get, but they're there just in case I feel like adding a little bit of colour. So let's see how we go, eh? Okay. Oh my word, I'm excited about this one. I'm glad your goodies are arriving. There is a parcel. I did miss a lady's puzzle out. If you're watching, I'm really sorry. It is easy to miss them out, and I do try and focus, but there's so many things sometimes going through my head. I do apologise, and it wasn't personal. If I've missed something, just message me. I'm sure I'll sort it out for you. So, okay, are we ready? All right, I'm going to go in with my pencil first, just purely because I want to add a little bit of a guideline to get me going. So, as I sort of usually do, I'm going to go, top to bottom. I'm not going to draw a line all the way down. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a centre point. So you're going to see just a bit of a dotted line, and then I'm going to turn it round, and the same again, bit of a dotted line, so you can just see where my centre is. There we go. All right. It's lovely when you get all excited about having your stuff. I mean, I'm excited when I use it, and when I bring it out, it's just nice that, it sort of carries it on. I'm really pleased. That's great news. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go hugely out of there. Let's go so you can see that. I'm going to actually add in a square-ish shape. So let's have a look. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to join one to this. So it looks like I've got, see, a bit of a triangle. And then there, can't wait to see your lotus flower. I'm just so excited that everybody's going to be different, and I really like that about it, because even if you're using the same shape every time, you're going to get something different. So I can't wait to see your take on it. It's going to be great. So there you go. See, I've turned my tile each time, so it's just like doing a border really, but I know I'm working about the centre. If you want to think about the size, if you look at my pen in comparison to the size of that shape. But as you know, it doesn't have to be exactly the right size, so whatever you want to do. Okay, I'm going to do is add a little line. Again, I'm saying it's about the length of my pen there. And then the same this side, so I'm going to sort of keep them a similar size. And there. Alright. Okay, so happy mail, that's nice. Oh dear, it's better than getting a brown envelope, isn't it? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I want to put myself as sort of a large bubble in here, and I know that sometimes we struggle a little bit in terms of getting that shape. So let's go in with a pencil first, and I'm going to add that bubble shape. Now you see that I'm using the side here, and of course these lines I've added in just to give me a bit of an indication. Okay. All right. Yep. So now let's go in with our pen, and I'm gonna aura inside that line. So I'm just gonna make it a touch smaller. You see? But I've got a shape to go off now, so it makes life a little bit easier. Okay. See, just working my way around. Just take your pen off the paper when you feel you're losing control and you're not quite sure where it's going anymore. You just work it out. You know, if it's not bubble shape when you've done, we'll call it a pebble, it'll be fine. There you go. All right. So let's join that line up now to this one here. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to leave that pencil line on, but we don't need it there, so maybe a little bit later you might want to sort of rub it out, but for now I'm just going to leave it where it is. So let's go a little bit larger here. Okay, so you can see it's nowhere near a perfect circle, and that's absolutely fine. So doesn't matter which way I'm going to go from, I'm going to add in a bit of a wobbly line. You see how it sort of flicks off? Let's have another one there. Okay, so it's starting from the edge and it's sort of going into these cracks either side. I don't want them all to be the same. So I'm just going to work my way around. Let's have that one. Get its way up to there. I'm going to join that to there. So nice sort of fine lines. Just might even just leave it there. Oh, Janet, you need to start training him, don't you? I said, no, not between 2 and 3. Okay, so that's where we are so far. Okay. Now, next bit then. Let's have a look at these lines that I've put in here. So, what I'm going to do is create a bit of a sort of droplet shape. And that's bring one up there and round. Back down. Alright? And the next one. To there. Now you might find, if you're not quite sure, you could always take it off here, look, and then round there. It sort of works as well. Yes, Yvonne. Yeah. So wait, or actually get him to put the kettle on. Yeah, make himself useful. By the time he's done that, yeah, and settled in, yeah, we'll be done. Okay. And the same again. So you see, I could actually take it from here, look, and round. So whichever works for you, whether it's just a droplet, it's quite nice, isn't it? Ready? Okay. Now let's go a little bit larger. So working on one side, I'm going to do the same on both, so it doesn't matter if you start this side first, entirely up to you. I'm going to come down a little bit, pull it out, and bring it to that point there. And then again, down to that point there. And again. So 1, 2, 3. So let's do the same on this side. From there and to the point. That's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Oh, have you, Pat? Oh, Pat, I'm had a cold tea today. I quite like, don't like the still water type thing, so I've actually got a fizzy, well, sparkling water with the tea infusions in it, which are very nice, I must admit. So I'm on that today. See, I'm doing the same again, look. Got 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to turn the tile to the next one. And from this side again. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm not trying to make each side the same, and I'm not trying to copy each corner so they are the same. I'm just working on the one I've got at the time. Oh, do you feel them? Yeah, they're nice, aren't they? I had a few free samples and I tried one. I thought, oh my goodness, why haven't I had these before? I feel like I've discovered something new. They're lovely. So I've got 3 flavours at the minute, and I've ordered a few more. I know, Maureen, I shouldn't I? And we can all have the same mug together. That would be cool. I can print mugs here at the office. So maybe that's something I need to do. That'd be cool, yeah. All right, so you see where we're at with this. I've got this lovely little shape on each corner. Okay. Something about those shapes, I like drawing those. So, okay. I'm going to work now on the sides here, and I'm going to draw, a line, whether it's slightly wobbly or not, I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to draw a line from there to there. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh yeah, the rose lemonade is nice. I've got the blood orange one. Is it? I can't remember what's with it. Yeah. 2 and 3. That's the. Oh yeah, that's nice too. It has to be cold though, doesn't it, Barbara? Yeah. 1, 2, and 3. And then that one. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So we've got this. Okay. Have you been Sanntangled? Absolutely. Oh, do you know, we do come up with some ideas whilst we're doing this, don't we? All right. So what I'm going to do here, now it depends on how wide yours is. It's, what brand is it? Oh, I can't remember now. Is it Twinings? I'd have to have a look. I'm only going to have more space for one here, because what I want to do is add sort of a bump. If you've got space for 2, by all means go ahead and add 2 in there. And I'm going to aura around that shape. Okay. And then same again on this one. So there's that bump. And then an aura around it. And then next one, round, and then a little bump, and turning it round, and same again, and a little bump, and an aura. Okay, so that's where we're at the minute. So on the top of these sections now, I'm going to do the same sort of thing. I'm going to add that little bump and then an aura. You see, it's a little bit smaller than that one. That's just how it seems to fit on there. If you want to go a bit bigger, you can. But I'm just going with what mine's sort of looking like at the minute. So don't worry that yours is different to mine. They're all going to be different. next one in there and round. Okay. It's not looking too bad at all. Okay. So in between this space now, I'm going to sort of work, I don't know, maybe here, I'm going to add in another one and an aura. Let's do the same on this side. This one in, and then an aura. Okay, and the next one. So at the moment we've only really, apart from these odd straight lines, we've just worked with curves. Oh, Vivian, opticians. Oh, I went on Sunday. Yeah, because I broke the arm on my glasses. And they wouldn't replace them because they said that, well, they wouldn't replace the glasses because they said, well, I hadn't had a test in a while. So I went for my test on Sunday and guess what? It's exactly the same. So I've now got to wait another 2 weeks before I get my glasses. So I've chosen a new pair because the last 2 pairs I've had were the same and I broke the arm on them twice. And it's sort of one of those that you can't really screw back in. It's totally sheared the arm. Don't know how. Don't know how I did it. But, yeah. Okay. So, looking at this top one here, let's go a little bit larger so you can see it. Okay. And let's put this sort of teardroppy shape back in. I suppose it does a little bit. It's the lines with the extra little bits of sort of enhancements there, aren't they? Okay, so same on this. I'm going round now on all of those little bumps, and I'm adding in that little. Oh, sorry, it's nearly spun off the page then. There you go. Adding in that. See, Art Deco wasn't my most favourite era. I'm more of the Art Nouveau. Less structured and more fluid. But I must admit, Art Deco, it does have its place. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is my influence. But, there we go. Oh, I'll show you that, yeah. Do you know what the new pairs that I've got come with 2 different types of arms? So I've actually got 2 pairs of glasses because I thought I'd have 2, and 4 different pairs of arms. So I think I'm prepped. So sometimes I just put them down and I shouldn't. Okay. All right. Okay. And remember this? 1, 2, 3. Oh, Deb, thank you. I do try and keep you on your toes. I know some of them are more challenging than others, but it's nice to sort of try different things, isn't it? And I know that you're all at different levels, so I always sort of have that in mind. And build in different levels of challenge. Believe it or not, I do actually plan what we're doing. So there is always an objective to what we do. And I try and teach you something. Even if you're experienced and you've been tangling for a long time, I try and give you a little bit of a different perspective maybe. But by all means, you know, you don't have to do it the same as what I'm doing. You can change it up, as you well know. You can try different patterns in there. You can use different colour tiles. It's whatever you're happy with. Okay, next bit. So I'm just working my way. All right, you notice that each time I have my droplet shape facing me. That's so I can get this pattern similar to the last one I did. And it's so easy just to turn the tile and just make it more comfortable for you to draw. There we go. Just a bit there. And again. And there's my 3. And you do find you count 3. And even if you're not doing it out loud, you count it in your head, don't you? 6, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Here's the next one. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. You see how it's just building ever so nicely. It's just from very, very simple lines. We're not doing anything tricky at all. That's exactly right, Sheila. It's all about that memory. That's why we don't really, put a great deal of detail into what we would call step outs. Oh, I know Leslie is always counting. That's because she needs to make sure that when she machines your stencils, she's got the right amount of pieces in there. As Leslie does come in and help me run the machine when we're busy. Yeah, she does, counts everything. She's very good at it. There we are. There we are. Last one. And the same there. Okay, right, let's just have a quick look at where we are at the minute. Alright, so we've got this kind of pattern going on. Yeah? So, just while we've got this, I'm going to just go in and add in a couple of lines. See that one? I'm just going to get ones, and you see how I go from the centre point and flick out. Okay? Same there, so I can get 2 in the middle, and then flick out on each one. Okay. And then same again. Let's get 2 in there, then flick out on each one. And 2 in there, and each one. Okay. You see, it's just building up that depth a little bit, isn't it? There we go. Oh, Sheila, just honestly, you just follow it step by step. And I know I go a little bit quicker than perhaps we'd all like, but I want to make sure that I get everything in the hour. But you can go back after and you can stop and start it and pause it. I know some people, they'll just sit with a bit of paper and just sketch out some of the patterns as I'm doing it, and then they'll catch up again later. So don't think you've got to keep up. Just give it a go. I think the scariest thing is picking the pen up and trying it, isn't it? Okay. You see, just 2 lines and then flick from each one. Okay. See that? The larger one, I'm going to do the same with 2 lines and then flick out for each one. And of course, if you want to do more, I know she's there, I'm going to go back to that one. Missed it. If you want to add more lines in, if you want to put a dot on the end of each of those lines, go ahead. It's your design. See? So I'm just working my way around. There we are. See that one now? 2 little lines. You see, by flicking from the centre each time, that centre point is getting darker. So you're starting to build in that shadow and make it look a little bit 3-dimensional. It's all about that texture, isn't it? Each time just building. Well, when you think, what's it, what now? Oh, 20 minutes ago, this was a blank piece of paper. And now look at it. There we are. Same on this one. So I know some of you have been starting the lotus flowers and having a go at those puzzle stencils. I'm quite looking forward to seeing what you're going to be doing with it. I really am. Okay. You see these little bumps that we worked with earlier? Let's add in another of those little droplets there. Oh, that's a good idea, Denise. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Just gets you going. You see, a little droplet either side, And those extra little spaces there, I'm just going to fill in. Okay, so let's go a little bit larger so you can see that again. So there's your little droplet in the middle, and then either side, and fill in the middle. And then of course, your choice again, if you want to, you can add those little lines in. Add those lines in there. And I'm going to work my way around again, systematically centre, side, side. Fill in the spaces. There we go. And then little lines, if you can fit them in, of course. There we go. Next one you see again, it's all about keeping it straight. So there's my centre and my sides. Just adding that little bit of black ink there adds a touch of drama to the whole thing. There we go. Well, I wouldn't know why, Chris. But don't worry, it's all part of one big design. Don't look at it like that. Think of something else. There we go. Okay. Oh, hi, Sue. All right, next one. There we are. Centre, side, side. And fill in those little sections there. There we go. And then just add in that little line. Same again. Yeah, perhaps just as well, Chris. Alright. See, it's evolving as it goes. We started with a simple cross with a pencil, and now it's just creating something a little bit different. There's another aircraft. You wouldn't guess we were next to an airfield, would you? Oh, hi Diane. Yeah, maybe so actually, a little bit of, hoping to put a little bit of colour on it if we get time. But we'll see. Okay, just filling in, oh, don't apologise, there we go. Going off on my own thing, forgetting that it's got to be in camera. There we are. And there, just filling in those little bits there. There we go. Oh, you're welcome, Sue. Thank you. Thank you for your order. So, John went to the post office early for me today, so I think unless it's come in the last hour, I think everything's gone today. There's just a couple of Hermes ones waiting for the Hermes guy, but so if the doorbell goes, that's going to be him. But hopefully he's usually about 3:30. So he should be good. Alright. Okay, I don't know how yours is shaping up. But you know, I'll show you in a minute. I don't want to sort of look at it until I've got to doing these last ones, but it's not looking bad at all. I think it's enhanced it, adding these little bits of black in there. Although I've got a plan, I do sort of know where the tile's heading, but it's I don't ever want to plan it fully because that spoils what we're doing, and the whole idea is that it sort of happens on the day. So it always changes. Alright, ready for this? There we go. Look at that. Oh, lovely. I'm really pleased with that. Quite like how this is starting to go off. Okay. Deep breath. I think I've nailed in it. Got to program a pacemaker. My goodness me. Good luck with that then. Good luck with that. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, big aura. I'm going to choose a point. I'm going to start here. Now again, it doesn't matter which way round you work. I like to go round so I can see my work, so I know where I'm auraing. My wonderful husband's just popped his head round through the glass, nearly gave me a heart attack. As you can look, you know, when you see a shadow in your mind's eye and you look up and he's there, almost with his nose on the window. Don't know what he's doing outside. Sometimes it's better not to ask. Again, so I'm just following the shape round. I'm not doing it exactly perfectly, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's just giving it a gap between what we're doing. Oh, yeah, I think it is difficult, isn't it, to gauge size, and even though, you know, I show you with the pen and things, it doesn't always work out the same. But I don't want you to get bogged down with trying to work out measurements and rulers and things. It's just about having a go. But you know what, sometimes different sizes, it will make it look a bit different. You might go back and, you know, on your journal you could make them bigger, or you could do a background and they could be smaller. There's so many possibilities. And that's something else, you know, when you think you couldn't get that from a stamp, because it's always going to be the same thing. See, oh, dilemma. No, I'm going to go down, I'm going to go in. There you go. Whereas this one, every time you draw it, it's going to be different. See, just working my way around. And this doesn't matter if you've got a straight hand or whether it's a bit wobbly. Doesn't matter. All adds to it. There we go. So I'm feeling a bit, I might go sort of purpley pinky colours, maybe with a touch of yellow. See how that works out. Just, you know, depends how it works, doesn't it? There we go. I'm just working my way round each time. Almost at the end, look. Just keep turning it. Last little bit now. Let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay. Alright. What I am going to do, while I've got a little moment, there we go. I'm just going to rub out that bubble shape there. There we go. Oh, it's all dry. That's it. Okay. Alright. So, on to the next stage. So, let's have a look. Now you see here, if you're looking, you've got little gaps in these spaces. We're going to go ahead and add in that original bubble shape. It's almost like a curve now. Oh, Hilary, looks like you're going to have some fun then. Oh, can I ask? So I've got a piece of string in the way of Kathy's question. Fusing brush hoe. Now, Kathy, there's two ways to do it. You could do it either way, but if you do the brush hoe first and then the pen over the top, your pen will be a lot sort of more dominant. If you use the pen first and then brush hoe, you lose some of the blackness of the pen because obviously the colour's over the top. So I'm gonna leave this little bit here. I'll come back to that later. So it depends what you want. If you want your pen to be in the background slightly, then by all means go and draw first and then brush out. But if you want your pen to stand out, then brush out first. However, if you're using pixie powders, then I would suggest that you did it afterwards, because, you know, with the mica in a pixie powder, your pen doesn't always want to go over it. Yeah. Okay. So you see in each of the gaps, I'm just going in and adding this curve in again. I know this is slightly irregular now, but that doesn't matter. Oh, spun it a little bit too much there. That doesn't matter. It's just about adding that little curve in. See, and then putting that aura on the top there. There we go. So I did miss that one out earlier. I'm gonna go and put that one in. There you go. Okay. Brush-O Pat, it's a pure form of watercolour, and it comes as a powder. So you can, like, you know, you put loads of water on a bit of paper and then you just like sprinkle it over. It's yeah, it's really quite nice to see. It's very, very bright, very vibrant, very intense. So you only need a little bit of it. Okay, so here we go again. Look, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So on to the next one. There's that droplet in the centre, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now at this point, if you want to, you can go ahead and you can add in those little lines as you're going. You see, this time I only put 1 line in there, so you can do 2 there. If it's a little bit fine and you can't get 2 in, just go with the 1. It's absolutely fine. Okay, droplet again. So you see, this is a repeating pattern, but they just change size slightly, depending on what you're sitting them on. So it varies. See there, you're not going to see much of it, you're just going to see that one there, look. And then it's sort of going behind. Well, that's fine. Oh, Christine, you know, give it a go. And don't try and make it exactly the same, because you're just not going to do that. It's all going to be different. Just enjoy it. And we're doing the same thing every time. It's that same little teardrop, and then 3 on the one side and 3 on the other. And adding those little lines in. Again, you can do them afterwards if you want. I'm going as I do. Oh, brilliant. There we go, see? Adding that one in. And then there. And then that one. See, I can get 3 in that side, but not that side, but it doesn't matter, because it's going underneath the one you've done there. And same here. So it's the same thing every time. And your brain starts to remember the curves and where they're going. So eventually it becomes just something that you do. There we go. So I can get 2 in there. And it don't matter that I can't get 2 in every one. They don't have to be the same. They're all as unique as we are. Go, see? Droplet again. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. And I can get 2 in that one, so I will. Alright. So they just fall into place. There we go. That one. And then that one. Okay. Just working my way around. Let's do this one. There's the droplet. And there's 3 either side. And these particular tiles, I think these are what make it more sort of mindful, because they are all the same shape, and it is quite random. There's abstract, isn't it? So you just sort of lose yourself in creating these wonderful little shapes as you're going around. nothing else really matters. It doesn't have to look like anything because it doesn't, well, it didn't exist an hour ago, did it? So it's absolutely fine. So here we go, same again. But I'm not looking at the last one and thinking, oh, it doesn't look the same. Just working my way around. Okay. What I am going to do, these spaces here that we've created, I'm going to just blank off a little bit of it. So you see I've got that little shape there, and then I'm going to fill in those little gaps just with my pen. Yeah, oh, actually, I might even go up to the top there. Yeah. So I'm just going to fill in the gaps. See, I just changed my mind there, didn't I? That's fine. If you want to do that, you don't have to. If you've got a thicker pen, you can bring that out and fill it in. That's quite like the drama that this is creating. Having this black, it just gives it a different dimension. Changes it up a little bit. Oh, Kathy, see, I'm never predictable. Always looking for something different. But yeah, you could fill it with bubbles. You absolutely could if you want to. But, oh, have I? Oh, I have, yes. Thank you. There you go. There we go. I'll put them in there. Doesn't feel left out anymore. Right. So just filling in as we go. Of course, you don't have to use black. You could use a different colour if you wanted to. Imagine if you were going to use a red page in your journal, you could colour this in red, and then it would look like it's been cut out. And your journal page was showing through on the other side. That would look quite cool. But, I'm just going to work with the black. Quite like the idea of that today. And of course, as you know, I never quite know what you've got to hand and what you're working with, so I don't always want to bring in lots of different tools and equipment. Try and keep it so you can work along with me without sort of rummaging through your craft room for other bits and pieces. There we go. Just adding that bit in there. There's something about these shapes, they're all totally different, and we didn't plan them, but now they're becoming quite a feature because we're making a bit more of an effort to work inside them. Right. And of course, those of you that like your colouring in, you're getting your little fix. Colouring in. Well, if anybody's around on Monday afternoon, Marie's going to look at the new instructions for to the moon and back. If you want to see how that's done, she's going to show you how. She's doing great. Okay. Right, let's have a look at this then. Oh, I missed it. Let's have a look. Oh, I think I just filled that one. I think I did it. Yeah, if not, I'll find it. There we are. Okay. So this is where it's sort of at so far. Okay. So next little bit, I'm just going to fill those bits just to make sure. Now, of course, we can keep going with this because there's going to be more and more space. So I'm going to do an aura around, same as before. Now this just breaks up the patterns of what we've done before and then what's coming next. So you can see that it just it puts that sort of break in between the two. And of course I could have gone in with little bubbles all the way around the edge as well. That's a nice way to go about it. Imagine we can go all the way up to the end of the tile, and then you could carry on with it in your journal. And quite a nice way to do. I quite like the idea, you know, of doing these in the same colour as your journal page. I think that'd look lovely. I'll just make it look like there's cutouts. So I think I might have to do another one at some point using a different colour. Alright. So I'm not going to do another layer of these around, because I want to sort of go in and add a bit of colour and show you how I do that. You could do that, you could carry it on. Or again, as before, you could colour the outside of the tile. Again, in the colour of your journal page, or in my case it'd be black. Then it looks like you've cut round it, but you haven't been. It's quite nice. So I might come back to that in a little bit. Yeah, it's so different, isn't it? It's lovely. So let's make something of it then. Alright, I'm going to go in a little bit larger. Let's have a look at the centrepiece. So I did mention sort of purpley colours, didn't I? So there you go, I've got a purple. I've got a sort of a pinky magenta-y colour there. And a bit of blue. And a bit of, it's got to be white, you've got to have white in there. And I might even, bring in a bit of black. Oh, hi Joe. Okay, so working with those colours then. So there you go, I've got you can use whatever colour you like, and of course I might bring others in, it doesn't really matter. So let's have a look. I'm going to start with the white, always the white. And I'm going to go straight over these bits here. I'm going to totally ignore those little cracks. There you go. And then a little bit of that sort of magenta-y colour. I'm going to add it around the white. Now you can see, because I'm using pastels, I'm not trying to blend it. I'm just going in and adding a touch. You see it's around there? Okay. See how it's close to one end but not so close to the other. So let's go in and add the blue. So a little bit there. See, only a little bit there, and then I'm adding more of it around here. I think the pastels, you can be quite quick. They are definitely pastels, Chris. The bronzy ones. See, with my purple. You see, I've not particularly coloured in at all. I've just gone in and sort of, it almost looks like I've thrown the colour in there, doesn't it? So far I've used the 4, and then in with my tortillon. And you see, I've used this for pastels before because it's starting to change colour, so it's okay. If you've got one that you've used pencil on, then before you go in and use it on your pastels, just sort of give it a bit of a sand off with a nail file or something. Alright, so let's just start round the white, and I'm just ever so gently working it with the tortillon, just going round in circles, you see? And just, I've blended, see, the white and that sort of magenta-y colour together. Then I'm going to go a little bit further out, and I'm going to now blend that magenta with that blue. There we go. Just be really gentle around there. I'm not rushing this at all. Okay, and then same again. Blue into the purple. Okay. See where I've got a little bit of a sort of a pattern going there. So there we go. So that's my first layer. Let's have a look at that so far. See? So I'm going to go back in again and I'm going to repeat it. So I'm going to add in the white, just over the top of where I did before. And then let's bring in that magenta-y pinky colour again. You see what I'm doing? I'm just adding a little bit of it. Then in with the blue. I think the nice thing is about this is you don't really have to sort of colour it, you just add in the pastel, because then the tortillon does the work. Okay, same again. Now you can do this with pencils, of course. It's just that you have to blend the pencils together. Whereas with this, I'm using the tortillon to blend together. So I'm not sort of being as gentle with the colours. I'm just adding some on. Okay, I'm just going to move it so you see all these little extra bits. There you go. Okay, I think I want a little bit more of that pink. So they're nice that you can just keep adding the layers. Now if you find that after a little bit it's not moving, you can, as we've said before, you can use your hairspray on it and add some fixer and then let that dry, and then you can come back in and you can add more. Okay, so I'm going in with the black now. I'm being quite sparing with this. I'm just going around that bottom edge, see? Just around that bottom edge. And come up a touch more. And then in again with that tortillon, just to smooth the edges off. See? So I'm not taking the black all the way into the colour, because that would just dull those colours down completely. I'm just giving it a little bit of dark where you've got that light on the opposite side, you see? Okay, let me just give that a... Oh, so any of that extra pastel's now gone. So I could keep building that. So I'm now going to transfer to my pencil. See, I've done the centre bit first because I don't really want to be going in and adding anything over the top of that. I don't want to be smudging it round. So I'm going all the way around now with my pencil. Okay, see how quick that was? Didn't take hours at all. I mean, I could keep going in and adding, but for a demonstration, and it was fine. And then on those lines there, and there, and there. I know it looks a little bit rough at the minute, but that's fine. So I'm going to now add a bit of pencil just to that outer edge of that line. Let me just go a bit closer, see? So the outer edge of the line, even on that one. Okay, and turn it round, and again, the outer edge. Now again, you can do this with pastels if you want to, but I quite like the idea of just having a little bit of colour. Oh, thanks, Carol. Yeah, they work nice together, because if you were to mix sort of that red and blue together, you'd get purple anyway, so they go together nicely. So it's a nice one to do that. Okay, you see, just I've pressed on quite a bit there. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going in with a different tortillon. You see, this one has definitely got graphite on it compared to, there we go. So you look at the that one there, it's got colours on it, whereas this one, it's just the graphite. So I'm keeping the two separate. So I'm going to go in now, and I'm just going to ever so gently soften the edge of I see I've left a couple of little gaps white. Oh, brilliant, Janet, yeah. I try and give you a little bit of a hint each time of how to use what you've got. Because I don't want them all to be sat on a shelf in the cupboard and you never use them. I just think it's not what you want, is it? You see, I'm just softening the edge of that pencil. I'm not covering the whole thing, just enough to ease that line off. See, there, straight across, nothing major. Oh, thanks, Janet. And then turning it round. So each time I'm turning it round, so I'm definitely not leaning onto the pencil or anything else that I've drawn. Okay, and again, just working my way around, same as before. Okay, alright, let's have a look at that so far. Okay, so you can see that we're getting quite a bit of sort of shading right here, so it's starting to look a bit three-dimensional, isn't it? It's what we want. Okay, back in then. So looking at these larger sections, I'm going to go back in with that the dark pencil. So I've got the purple, and I'm just going to add a touch at the bottom there, and a touch of that magenta. So I'm not going to overdo the colours here, just a touch. Okay, and then again, with the coloured tortillon, I'm just going to pull it out a little bit. See, I'm just, you know, like I flicked with the pen earlier with those lines, and just pull it out a touch. Okay, so turn it round, so in with the purple again, and again, I'm not trying to colour that in, I'm just adding some of that colour. Oh, Margaret, yeah, a little bit. Because we've added a little bit of texture with those little sort of like cracks in there, haven't we? Just makes a bit of a difference. Okay. And turn it round again. Bit of purple. And a bit of magenta-y colour. I'm being ever so gentle with the tortillon. I'm not forcing pastels at all, just adding a little bit of colour. Lindsay, because with this section I'm going from the darkest to lightest because I haven't got anything on the light, so dark first. But whereas before when I was doing the sort of the little gem type thing here, I added the white on first because it's so easy to lose that little bit of light. So add the white and then you go into the light colours getting darker. But when you're working with a couple and you're just wanting to add a touch where it's dark, then I went in with the darkest colour first. See, now I can just go in and just add that touch of black. See, I never add the black until last because I don't want to blend the black with the colours because it'll just make everything go cold. And I don't want to do that. But having said that now, if you look at where that black is, you see now it's just added that little bit there. Okay. So back in. So this time, I'm going to add pencil. I'm not going to put much in, just a little bit on the sides there, you see. So I'm making quite a feature of this centre bit on the inside, you see, just a little bit. And let's go in and do the next one. So I'm putting some, but I'm not going all the way up, and it's sort of on the underside of each of those little shapes there. And the same again. Just adding that little bit of, I mean, this would look really nice, I suppose, if I'd have gone with red, orange and yellow as well. That would have been quite nice. And because I've got purple, I could add a little bit of yellow in. Give it a go in a minute. Okay. So again, I'm going in now with my, because I'm using pencil, I'm using the tortillon that I've got pencil on. I'm just adding a little bit. And I give this the pencil underneath there. Just softening the edges, you see, just pulling up a little bit. So I've got graphite in there mixed with a bit of pastel now. Just done the same there, like I missed that one as well. There we go. Okay. And the next, just underneath each time. You see, I'm quite conscious that I wanted to leave quite a bit of the white on the tops there, just because I want that light, you know, that contrast between that black spot I've sort of put in and everything else. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Janet, I'm using the, here we go. Let's have a look. The Brunzil pastel pencils. They come in a lovely little set of drawers kind of thing. I took them to Create and Craft a couple of weeks back. So I did say tonight, let's add in a touch of yellow, because, oh, why not? So I'm gonna leave that there where it is. I'm just gonna add, this is almost like a squiggle of yellow across the tops there. Let's do that on all of them. Right. You see now why I didn't continue with the pattern around the outside? I wanted to really get in today and show you can add a little bit of colour. I think the trick is as well as not adding colour everywhere, is just adding little bits. So don't overdo it. Okay. So you see here now, I've got a bit of yellow and I've got a sort of a dirty tortillon. So sandpaper would be preferable, but in the absence of sandpaper, now just gonna clean off that, because I don't want the two mixing, because if I mix the two, I'm going to end up with a brown. I don't want a brown. There you go, just clean that off a bit, because all I'm going to do is just, see, rub over. And again, just ever so gentle, just a quick rub over. Same there. Now I know and I remember this, you know, from teaching in schools. Pastels, you get a bit scared of them because they sort of go everywhere and you're not quite sure what to do with them. So they need the least amount of work, and you can see there, look, that you're now getting this really vibrant sort of differentiation between this one and this one. So let's go around with a pencil now. You see, I'm just following that shape. I've already done that section, so I'm just going to go around these shapes. Of course, you can do the same with pencils. Don't think I'm telling you can't use your pencils on this. It just takes a little bit more work because you're not pushing them around with the tortillon. You have to physically blend them together. So it'll still look fantastic. It just takes a little bit longer with pencils on this way of doing it. Okay. So back in with that tortillon, I'm just going to circle around. You see, I'm just going in circular motion. I don't want to spread it out to the whole tile, but I do want to soften the edge. So when your line's disappeared and it's sort of gone into the page, it spreads a little bit, depending on, of course, what tile or paper you're using. There we go. we go. It's turning into quite a tile, isn't it, this one? I'm liking it. There we go. Let's have a look at that so far. Okay, so you can see that it's really starting to build now. There's just one sort of last thing I want to do. Now, of course, in terms of these sections, we'd shade the same. You could add a touch of colour on here if you wanted to, and then you go round with your pencil. In exactly the same way, but we really want this middle bit to stand out. So just as a final, I'm going to go back in with my pen, and you can see where I've got this black line. I'm going to go in and I'm going to add my pen back onto that line there. Okay. You see, because we've gone around with the pastel and we've almost sort of pushed it into the paper, the pen will sit over the top and it's not a problem. But, you know, if you've got your pencils, it might take a little bit more persuading, let's say. So let's go back in and just redefine these lines. Okay. And this side. So don't worry if you're not getting the same shape lines. It's not a problem. It just adds to it. That one there and there. And this one. Okay. And again, we can go back in and we can just add those flicks. You see, because I've not sort of really pushed out that black, I've not gone in with a tortillon, I'm avoiding drawing over the top of it. I'm just starting slightly further in and then just adding those lines back in, you see. Okay, just so gently going in, and this makes the difference, doesn't it? We've always said just defining those lines. And let's have a look at that. Can you see the difference? Okay. Oh, one more thing before. I know I said I got a silver and a gold pen out. I'm going to opt for a white pen. Just going to do a check to make sure it's sort of it's running okay. Let's have a look. So I'm looking at the lights going in here. It's going to come out here. So I'm just going to go in and add in a little bit of a highlight. So you see, I'm following the curve, and it's sort of a mixture of just dotting it rather than drawing over the top. There we go. And what I'll do once that dries is I'll go in and I'll do another layer. There we go. Alright, let's have a look at that. There we go. So you can see that it's just giving it that little bit of a light and a highlight there too. So, okay, I know we've gone over a little bit today, but I really wanted to get that little hint of colour in there for you. And of course, if you want to add it and extend it into these sections, or if you want to just sort of add the pencil in there, it'll give you a different variation. But we were mainly looking at this being our centrepiece. Yeah, and this is the thing, Gail, and I did speak to Marie about it as well, because I've not used the pencils you mentioned earlier. It might be that if you haven't got a pen that would work, is you get yourself a bit of, let's say watercolour, it's like the watercolour in a tube, or a bit of acrylic paint, and just dot on a touch of white paint, and that should solve your problem. So yeah, if it's the pen that's not working, or even try a Posca pen, that tends to sit on the top of absolutely everything, and to give that a go. And then of course when that dries, you could scratch out if it's a bit thick with a knife, a craft knife. So give that a go and let me know how you get on. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. It's been a little bit more in depth, but I do on a Friday, I do try and give you a bit more because you've got the weekend where you can sit and have a play with it. So for me, I would actually put another layer of pastels on the top of there, but of course time didn't allow. But yeah, white go, yeah, it's watercolour, but it's not translucent like watercolour, it's opaque. So you can't see through it kind of thing, but they do call it gouache. I said, or you can use some whiter coloured paint. It doesn't have to be an expensive one. You can get just a cheap tube of paint like that, and they come really quite small, and that's all you need, a little brush to put it on with. So yeah, give it a go. And I feel like I've taught you something. There we go. Oh, all right. So anyway, everybody have a lovely weekend. Let me see what you're doing. Any problems, just give me a message. Whether it's either me or Marie. Marie will answer them as well. So she has a different perspective, of course, to mine too. So if you are around on Monday, please join her. She says she's gonna be doing the To the Moon and Back, the new version, which is this one. There we go. So it's the same stencils as the original, but slightly different instructions. So please, if you've got any questions, ask her. That'd be lovely. So all that's left to say then is have a lovely weekend. And I will see you again, all being well, on Wednesday for tile number 59. Oh my word, 59. All right, everybody, you take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all soon. All right, bye.